What's up YouTube? For today's video, we're with full Toxel Evolution team. This was a particularly hard team to do, right, because I only had 4 Pokemon to work with, and they were all 4 times weak to ground, so very, very difficult. Now, people, I've had a very, very long last couple of days in real life, actually been shifting glass, and I'm knackered right now, so if I make any narration errors, don't roast me too hard. Well, you can roast me, that's fine, but not too hard. Alright, if you want to check me out on Twitch, I do all my streaming there. Please go check that out, and I may do some streaming tonight, see how I'm feeling. Alright, we got 2 really, really long battles today. Actually, this one was probably the longest one, and I really hope you enjoy. And I think I'll have some Pokemon sweep stuff a little bit later up on the week as well. Alright, this was a battle against Hunt, and we have a Alolan Ninetales lead. So I've got my Toxel as the lead. Worked pretty well. It's a Sash set. Unfortunately, in this situation, we got the Alolan Ninetales with a Hail, right? So I'm going to have to swap that out and bring it back in a little bit later. I'll also explain that set a little bit later on too. So we got the Ninetales going for the Veil there. Now, this was a little bit of a problem, but I was still quite confident I could get around this Ninetales. So this Toxtricity, this is my Ant one. You know what? I reckon, we got Toxtricity low key and Toxtricity Ant right. I reckon we should have Toxtricity low key and Toxtricity high key. That'd be awesome. I don't know. That just sounds easier for I don't know, maybe for me to say. Okay, so we got a physical Ninetales going for the Aqua Tail. Actually, I'm just trying to think how that missed, right? Because Ninetales, right, has got 9 tails. Are you telling me all 9 of those tails missed? Anyway, so we got a physical Shift Gear Toxtricity set. We got Poison Jab on this one. Obviously, they got Shift Gear boosting the speed and attack. And we've also got Drain Punch and Wild Judge. Now, out of this team, I only wanted to really Dynamax or G-Max the Toxtricity. So this was not the G-Max set, obviously. So we got the Ninetales taking a fair bit of damage there from the Poison Jab. Obviously, the Veil is going to allow it to, to live that one. So we got a Grudge here. Now, Grudge is a move you never ever see. Say if I took the Ninetales out right now, I would lose all the PP on the move that actually took the opponent out. So say if I attacked it right now with Poison Jab, I lose all of Poison Jab's PP. But instead of going for a non-priority move there, it's going to be going for the Ice Shard. So going for another Poison Jab and taking out the Ninetales. I actually contemplated swapping there for a second because I didn't want to get rid of all my Poison Jabs, but that's how things went. So Ninetales is going to go down there, and we still got 5 Pokemon to actually take out. So the next one we got is Indeedee. It's got the Psychic Surge. Now, this is a problem because all my team is weak to Psychic as well. Now, I can go for a Poison Jab. I can go for a Drain Punch. I was thinking, or maybe I should just go for the Wild Charge and, end it with that. I was thinking Drain Punch wouldn't be good because I'm just going to get one shot at right. Poison Jab, I might get a Poison, or should I just go for Base Power Wild Charge? Decide to go for the Base Power and Wild Charge. I already know that I'm probably going to go down to this one. Anyway, does really impressive damage there. I do take a little bit of recall, and I've got a berry on this set too, which is my Citrus Berry. This is a max speed and max attack set. No, sorry, this was Adamant Nature, or Adamant Min, or whatever the fuck it is. So we got the trick there from the Indeedee. It's going to give me a Choice Scarf, which is not too bad there, but it's going to lock me into using a certain move, which is Wild Charge. So it's like, okay, that's not bad. I can go for a Wild Charge here and take out the Indeedee. That would indeed be a good idea. Also, the Indeedee actually didn't get my Citrus Berry, which is pretty good too. So now we got the Indeedee swapping out, and we got a very interesting Pokemon coming here, which is just Zekrom just slides into the battle, just casually. So I'm not going to do any damage to this thing at all with a Wild Charge. Look how much I did. And this is actually a bulky Zekrom, and I took some recall damage too. So Leftovers, right? Let's see if Leftovers recovers all the damage. Leftovers recovered all the damage that I did. I'm going to have to swap out here, man. This is a mean Pokemon. So I'm going into Toxel here. Toxel has Endeavor on this set, and we got a Charge Beam from the Zekrom there. So that's going to do, I'm probably, you know what, I'm going to say this right now, I'll probably call Zekrom Reshiram at one stage in this battle. So we got Endeavor, Flail, Nuzzle, and Protect, and we got the Focus Sash. So the idea was to go for the Nuzzle, paralyze the opponent, and then go for Endeavor, right? If I was speedy, I could go for Endeavor and then go for a fully boosted Flail on 1 health. So we got another Charge Beam here. Unfortunately for me, I actually went for the Nuzzle because I wasn't sure who was going to go first there because I swapped Toxel into that initial Charge Beam. So I was sort of hoping I went for the Endeavor, but I didn't, right? Now, the only thing I can do here is hope for a Charge Beam to miss because all I've seen so far is Charge Beam. So I'm guessing it might have some way of actually, healing itself up. I wasn't too sure at this point in the battle. So going for the Endeavor, and we got another Charge Beam and Charge Beam is going to land. Now, Charge Beam is actually going to boost his special attack on this too. So it is bulky, right? But after all these boosts, it's going to be bulky and have some good offense. So down goes my Toxel. I've only got 3 more Pokemon left. And obviously, you guys already know what Pokemon these are. So I've got my physical Toxtricity. I'm not going to swap this in. I'm going to go into, this is my Gmax Toxtricity. So this is probably the most sweatiest set I've got on my team. We got Boom Burst, Overdrive, Sludge Wave, and I thought I'd put Snarl on there as well to make use of Punk Rock ability, boosting those sound moves. So I've got max, I've got max speed on this one, and I've got max special attack. So obviously I'll let Max Ooze boost my special attack on this one. And I want to get as much speed out of it as possible. Like, they're not overly fast Pokemon, even the fully evolved one. So we got the big old G-Max Toxtricity. Looks like super, super cool. This is probably one of my favorite ones. Man, look, it just did a guitar on its nipples. I mean, how often do you see that? And I like the flames on its the header too, like the blue and yellow flames. So I thought I'd go for my Z move, my G-Max move. Here we go, people. There's the roast. Feel free to roast me. And I was hoping I could get the poison on there, and I get the poison, which is really nice. I'm not sure if I would 100% get the poison because it's an electric type. I don't know about that one. I'd have to sort of like do a test there. Anyway, regardless, we got the poison, and Leftovers are going to heal half that poison. But the main thing is we got a little bit of damage coming in there from poison, and I might be able to, do some good damage to it. So now I can go for a Max Ooze, boosting my special attack, and I was thinking I should be able to tank out these charge beams, right, quite easily, and then I might be able to hit it with like a powerful Boom Burst, right, after all these Max Oozes. So go for that, and look how much damage. It did nothing. So I'm assuming this is definitely a max health Zekrom. It could possibly max special defense to split defenses. So another charge beam there. It does minimal damage to me, which is okay. And it doesn't get a special attack boost, which is good too. Now, it remains to be seen whether this had any other moves. Like, did it have a dragon type move? What other things did it have? So now we've got a below half health. I can go for another Max Ooze here and take it out probably the next turn. And that'll be like super, super good. So go for that Max Ooze. I think that this is my last turn as well in the G-Max form, and that does a lot of damage. Zekrom just holds on, unfortunately, and now it's going to be able to attack me. So I'm like, okay, am I expecting a Dragon type move? And it's got Rest. I'm like, oh, here we go again. Now, the only good thing that sort of came out of this, right, Zekrom's going to be able to heal itself up. I can go for a very, very powerful Boom Burst after this, right, which is going to be pretty good against Zekrom. And I did actually boost my special attack too. So Zekrom's going to be asleep. I'm assuming it's got Sleep Talk here. So it's got Rest, Sleep Talk, Charge Beam. So that's all I've seen so far. I'm not sure what the other move is at this point. So go for that Boom Burst. Man, that is a clear 2-hit KO. So now I was hoping, well, Zekrom could go for a Charge Beam, but I know that I can live this one. It depends what its other move is going to be. And it's got Dragon Breath. It's a troll set. So it's even with that low base power, I get absolutely bodied. The only good thing about that is I did do a lot of damage to it with that initial Boom Burst. But man, I have got to take this out now, or it's just going to wake up and go back to sleep again. I'm going to do like 2 damage to it. So bringing in the physical Toxtricity that I had earlier on, this was the one that got tricked to Choice Scarf. Looking at my options here, I've got Drain Punch or Shift Gear. To go, not just Shift Gear, Drain Punch and Poison Jab were my options there. So go for the Poison Jab, hoping I can take this out, and Zekrom goes down. That would have been very, very close at actually living that one. Or it could have been max health and max special defense. I think it was very, very special for sure. Okay, next Pokemon coming in is the Gengar. I've got to swap out because I'm locked into Poison Jab. Now, this is where the battle got really, really long, except, exactly like something else. So we got the Will-O-Wisp from the Gengar, so it could be a bulky Gengar, and that's going to burn my low-key Toxtricity. So this Toxtricity wasn't like a Punk Rock set. I thought I'd make use of it, one of its other abilities, the plus and any Pokemon with the plus and minus ability, right, can use Magnetic Flux. What does Magnetic Flux do? It's like Cosmic Power, but you need that ability. So I can go for a Magnetic Flux and get a +1 to defense and special defense. I thought this would be quite a fun set to run on Toxtricity, because normally it's not a very bulky Pokemon, right? Now, the item I ran on this one was Shuka Berry. That allowed me to get some boosts up initially if I came across any, like, really powerful ground-type Pokemon. And, I'd be able to take those ground-type moves maybe just a little bit better. Even after, like, a couple of them, it still hit very hard. So, we got a Phantom Force Protect Will-O-Wisp Gengar, which is pretty crazy. So, like, okay, this is definitely a stalling set. I was, like, sort of wondering what the last move is going to be. Does it have, like, a sneaky Destiny Bond or something like that? You never know what, what moves that Gengar could have. It actually gets quite a variety of moves. It's good to see a non-special one too. Anyway, so Gengar is going to slap me with its purple hand on my purple butt, and it only does a little bit of damage, which is good. Now, at the moment, they don't know that I've got rest. Well, I'm assuming that, well, maybe they suspect that I've got rest because I'm boosting my stats anyway. Now, I've got this, the other offensive part of this set is I can make myself really bulky with Magnetic Flux, right? So once I've made myself really bulky, I can then go for a stored power. Now, this is max health and split defenses, and stored power was going to be super effective against Gengar, right? So I thought, if I bolster up my defenses, that'll still boost the power of stored power, right? And I'll be bulky, and I'll have some reasonable offense. But really, like, honestly, you need to get, like, 6 of them up. Like, it does nothing unless you get 6 of them up, right? Because you're making yourself bulky. You're not really making... It's not like you're using, like, Calm Mind and then stored power, or Nasty Plot and stored power, you know what I'm saying? So it does take a lot more boost. But the only weakness of this set is it takes a long time to set up, and you can get critted, or you can get set up on yourself, like, quicker. So we got the Gengar go for another Phantom Force here. I think they're just sort of just seeing what I'm going to do with this set, or do I have any recovery? I went for the stored power that time. Unfortunately, I could have gone for another boosted move. That's how it is. So now I can go for a Magnetic Flux. This is my 5th Magnetic Flux. One more, and I'm at absolute max. So getting spanked again, and that was a crit from the Gengar, unfortunately. Now, the only thing I was thinking, right, has Gengar used any other move than Phantom Force? Like, does it have, like, you know, just a normal type move that doesn't take like 2 turns? Because I haven't seen what its other move is. I was like, okay, if it doesn't have any other attacking moves than Phantom Force, I can still go for a rest here and heal myself up. And maybe they don't, or I'm not any sure. I wasn't really sure like what they were going to do. So we had a protect here, and they're just going to protect myself, hoping that I go down to the the burn there, and I go to sleep. So that's really, really good. That Gengar only has that Phantom Force as his attacking move. So bulky Gengar. So Toxtricity is now back to full health, and I've got all the boosts there from the Magnetic Flux, which is absolutely wonderful. So, speaking of bulky Pokemon, we got Shuckle coming in. So, like, what are they going to do with Shuckle? It's normally Shuckle, you know, can go for Toxic Infestation. I'm going to play with my nipples in my sleep, and then I'm going to go for another Magnetic Flux, and now we are at max. So I can start going for stored power. Someone's going to take that clip out of the video. I know they are. They're going to take that little segment of me saying that thing before. So I can go for a Sleep Talk here. This will be my second one, and then I can go for a stored power and see how much it does to Shuckle. I wasn't expecting a lot of damage, right? Because, you know, it's not Stab, and Shuckle's got a lot of defense itself. Now we're going to get a Dynamax Shuckle. So like, oh, okay, Dynamax Shuckle. So that's going to have a lot more health. Like, Shuckle, one of the bad things about Shuckle, it's got, very superior defense and special defense, but its health isn't really that good. So if it had a lot more health, it would be an even bigger pain in the bum, right? So it's going to get a lot more health there due to the Dynamax. I was like, okay, what move is it going to use? Because it can't use any status moves. Like, it's not really going to storm me up. Maybe it's like an offensive one. It's got like a ground type move. I wasn't even sure. So go for the Sleep Talk there, and I'm going to get a Magnetic Flux. I'm already at max. And now it's going to go for a Max Quake. The Shukaberry pops hard there. Now look at the damage this does, right? Look at this damage that it actually does to me. Like, just have a little look. Now that was a lot of damage if you take in the account for the Shukaberry. So it was a critical hit. If I didn't have Shuka, I reckon that would have done probably 3/4 of my Toxtricity. Like those pinch bros are very, very, very powerful. So now I can just go for stored power and see if I can take this Shuckle down. So I'm going to wake up finally and go for that stored power. And you know, it does pretty good damage to this Shuckle. I'd say that's going to be a 2-hit KO easy. So we got another Max Quake here. Now the funny thing about Shuckle using Max Quake, it actually is going to lower its special defense because of Contra, right? Usually when you use a Dynamax move like that, it'll boost it, but, you know, Contra is going to lower it. So that's pretty interesting. So now I can go for a another stored power here and, take the Shuckle out. It's actually dropped its defense. So now the Shuckle it's a little bit of a rock and a hard place, pardon the pun. It doesn't want to drop its special defense with another shot because, you know, I'm quite bulky. And then, you know, Shuckle isn't exactly what you call the most highest offense Pokemon either. Now we're going to go for another stored power. I was like wondering what move it's got. I was like, does it have like Earthquake or like a Sand Tomb, something like that? Go for the stored power anyway. I think this is at -2 in special defense. And that is enough to take out the Shuckle after all my boosts as well. So we've got a couple of Pokemon run. We've got that Gengar, we got that Indeedee, and now we got a Gyarados. It's like, okay, well, Gyarados, the only bad thing is at the moment I don't have an electric type move. Like, usually Gyarados wouldn't be a problem with all these, Toxtricities coming around. So I can go for, I was thinking, should I go for a rest or should I go for a stored power? Gyarados is going to go for a dive. Now, you guys might be roasting this Gyarados, but this Gyarados was pretty tough to get around. So we got these stored power. It's obviously going to miss the Gyarados. Now it's like, okay, let's see how much stored power does. I know that it won't take Gyarados out in one shot. It'll probably be out like a 2-hit KO. So dive isn't really going to do too much. Now, the reason they've got dive, I'd say they're running like a stalling set, but I'd say, like, it might have Toxic, so since I'm a poison type, they're not going to be able to do that. So we've got 3 minutes left of the battle. Gyarados is going to dive underwater again, and I can go for another stored power. I knew that I could easily probably get another rest off, because I had Gengar, I could one-shot, and had Indeedee, which I was quite sure I could indeed take that up. So we got Gyarados go for another dive, and the dive critted me. It absolutely melted me. Whew. All of those boosts, so all I've got left now is that Toxtricity earlier on with the Choice Scarf. So you guys are probably roasting that Gyarados with the dive, but man, it came in clutch there. So go for the Wild Charge. Gyarados is going to go down. They didn't really want to swap any of the other Pokemon into that. So there's Gengar and Indeedee. The only problem is now I'm actually locked into Wild Charge, so I have to go for Wild Charge, and there is going to be some recall ramifications. So the next Pokemon coming is the Gengar, the bulky Gengar. So like, oh my goodness, if Cursed Body comes in, I'm going to be struggling. I hope that doesn't happen. So hoping I can actually take this out in one shot, and Wild Charge does a lot of damage, but they're clearly running max health on their Gengar there. Now, Gengar's going to go for the Will-O-Wisp, and that is going to be some extra soul in the world. I'm absolutely crippled now because my attacks, my attacks halved, and now I'm only locked into one move. And that's pretty much it, people. Man, that Gyarados actually destroyed me. Like, it literally destroyed me, the dive Gyarados. I could have gone for a rest there, but, like, who would have thought I would have got crit by the dive Gyarados, right? So go for another Wild Charge. It fails a little bit short from taking the Gengar out. We've only got 1 more minute left this battle. Gengar is going to instantly disappear, and it's got 50 seconds to slap me on my purple backside. Okay, I'm going to go down to the burn anyway, and the recall damage. So this is not a very nice thing to do to someone. So Wild Charge is going to miss there, and Gengar's going to give me a good old spanking, and that pretty much is the first battle. But wow, what a roller coaster of battle! That almost went for that went for the whole 20 minutes there. I did a couple little cuts in this battle. Okay, let's get on to the second one. I was so salty about that one, by the way, man. Okay, now this is actually done on my Twitch stream. I believe, I don't know if this, I'm not sure if this person will ever see this video. If they do, thanks for the battle and stuff like that. And once again, anyone that does battle me in my videos, leave a comment. Okay, so this was a pretty funny battle. So we got a Ninjask lead. I've got my Toxel. Once again, Toxel is not going to be very appropriate for versing a Ninjask. But man, Toxel popped off in this battle, don't you worry. But more on that a little bit later, stick around. So we got the Toxtricity coming. This is my G-Max one. What I want to do, right, is thinking, okay, this might go for the whole substitute, bat and pass, shenanigans there. I can get around this with sound-based moves, right? So Ninja's going to get that sub. It's got the speed boost. Like, I've got to stop this thing before a bat and pass is like, major stats. So now we got the double team. Like, this is scum of the earth here. So double team and the sub and the speed. Oh, I'm in a little bit of trouble here. So now I wait for the Boom Burst, hoping to take it out, and man, it connects, and Ninjask is not going to like that one taking it out in one shot. So that was a really, really good start there, and it was very fortunate that I had a sound-based move to get around Subdued. Okay, so speaking of which, I was like, okay, this Como, I bet this Como is going to have soundproof, so I'm going to swap out, and I'm going to go into Toxel. Now, this was absolute fire, right? So Como actually went for the belly drum, so like, oh man, so that's going to get half itself. Now I'm starting to think, okay, I got to slow this Pokemon down, right? I've got Nuzzle and I've got Endeavor. They might have a berry, a citrus berry that hasn't kicked in yet, so Endeavor may not be the best play. Let's slow it down first. So we got the Como go for the Drain Punch there. It's going to take me all the way down to my Sash, which is fine there. It's going to get some health recovery back too. So Focus Sash kicks in, which is really, really good, and it's going to get some nice health recovery, bringing it back to full health with a belly drum. So go for the Nuzzle there. Now Nuzzle's obviously going to paralyze it, and I'm going to be able, at least I'm going to be able to outspeed it, right? So I thought, okay, that's the best I can pretty much do with my Toxel. I can go for the Endeavor here. I was like, okay, let's go for Endeavor. If it's got a berry, right, at least it'll burn off its berry. So Toxel's going to go for the Endeavor, and Como doesn't have the berry and gets paralyzed on top of that. Wow, so actual Toxel is going to be able to win the 1v1 here, and it's going to be able to, outspeed and take it out with the flail. So that was amazing from the Toxel there. Some very good RNG on the Paralyze, but definitely the Paralyze was the way to go to win that matchup. Anyway, speaking of which, the Toxel Rampage does not end here. So I won 1 health at the moment. I'm thinking, okay, I could go for another Endeavor. It depends on how speedy this Bravery is, right? I was thinking about Nuzzle for a little bit. I'm thinking what I should do. Should I Nuzzle it? Should I Endeavor it? I decided then, let's go for another Endeavor. I went first. It's a speedy set. Going for that Endeavor, putting the Bravery on 1 health, which is really, really good. So this is a bulky offensive Bravery. It's going to set the Tailwind up. So like, okay, Tailwind lasts for, X amount of turns. Maybe I should see if I can protect a couple of those turns, right? Because I don't want the rest of the team being, like, speedy. So go for the protect, which is really good. That's going to burn up 1 turn, and we got the Iron Head there. So that's good. It's got, I'd say it's got like Brave Bird and then like a normal type move. I get 2 protects off, which is absolutely wild because that burns up basically half a Tailwind there, which is really, really good. So now we've only got 1 more turn of the Tailwind, and I can just go, I was thinking, oh, well, I'm not going to be able to outspeed it, obviously. I might as well go for another protect here and see if I can stall that. Then I might be able to take it out with another flail. Went for the triple protect and it failed, but man, Toxel actually it took out the Como and stalled out the Bravery. Nearly took both the Pokemon out. So that was huge. Yeah, that was a really, really big play from the Toxel. So now I can bring in my Toxtricity here. This is the physical one. I can just take this out with anything. I can go for I didn't want to go for Shift Gear because I thought that would be a little bit too risky. It could set up another Tailwind or just attack me. So I went for the Poison Jab and I took out the Bravery there. So that was really good. Like, basically, Toxel really brought me back into this game. So we've got 3 more Pokemon remaining, and I've got 3 more Pokemon, so things are pretty good now. So we've got Rillaboom coming in. I've got a Poison Jab. I can hit with the Poison Jab, and I've still got my G-Max Toxtricity in the back too. So I thought, okay, I can probably hit that one with Max Ooze, right? A couple of Max Oozes will do a lot of damage to Rillaboom, right? And I still got like another one, my bulky one in the back, right? The bulky one wasn't so good. Like, say if someone had an Earthquake or ground type move, it just wasn't too good. So I needed a bit of stuff. So go for the Poison Jab there, does really excellent damage. And now we got Max Quake from Rillaboom. It's like, oh no, this is actually really bad. Because Max Quake, right, is going to boost the special defense of this Rillaboom. Now, my only saving grace was I did have an Air Balloon attached to my G-Max Toxtricity, so it's going to have to hit me with another attack first, and then hit me with a Max Quake afterwards. So I knew that I could probably leave one attack, and then I'm going to go down. So I thought, in the meantime, I at least need to boost my special attack to equal the boost that, the Rillaboom got from the Earthquake before. I'm assuming it was Earthquake, right? So going into my big old Toxtricity here, man, I've actually used this, out of all the G-Max Pokemon, I'd say I've nearly used this one the most. I'm thinking, like, all the battles that I've done this gen. I don't know, it seemed to have appeared in a lot of theme teams and stuff I was using. Regardless of that, let's go for a Max Ooze here, boosting my special attack. I at least want to equal that last boost. I know the Rillaboom's not going to go for a, it's not going to go for that. It's going to have to go for another move, whether it be a grass type move or anything like that. And now we're going to max Darkness, so I'm guessing that's coming off a Crunch or something like that, or Knock Off, whatever. Just a physical Dark type move, and that is going to break my Air Balloon. So now I can go for another Max Ooze here. And that'll be really, really good because it's actually almost in range, or it's in range to actually take it out, and Rillaboom is going to go down, which is very, very good there. The Air Balloon actually saved me because if I didn't have the Air Balloon, that was game. Like, the Rillaboom would have been way too bulky. Now that's 4 Pokemon down. We've only got 2 more Pokemon left. And I'm in a good position here because we got a Blastoise coming out. So Blastoise is very, very weak to me. I can go for a G-Max Stun Shock here. There's no way our Blastoise is going to be able to live this one. It's going to get it's going to get shot out of the park, people, like a baseball. And that's going to go down. No Focus Sash or anything scummy like that. We got 1 more Pokemon to deal with, and I've got 2 more Pokemon left. And Golisopod is the last Pokemon. So it's like, okay. First impression, well, that's going to do donkeys. Aqua Jet, I feel like I take that. Maybe a Sucker Punch. It's going to go for the Sucker Punch. I'm going to live that Sucker Punch. And now I can go for the Overdrive. That'll do a lot of damage to Golisopod. And it's going to take it out in one shot, people. It's like, damn, that was a really good game there. I actually clutched back there. And guess what, people? We get the little baby bottle disconnection there. But I got it on live. Hope you guys enjoyed both these battles. And I'll catch you next time. Peace.